ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Building in Public episode 22. This episode is reflections, and it's going to be about my reflections of the past week. I've had quite a hectic week. I've had 3 weddings on the job, on the field, and I've been in communication with a lot of different people. I'm also starting to plan a few film projects. There is a music video that I'm going to be starting the pre-production from tomorrow, and most likely go into production early August, which I'm very excited to do. And that'll be a client job. That'll be really fun to do. And I'm also planning next week to get my first initial draft of the short film that I want to create. But the main thing about reflections from this past week is actually like subtle criticism and people trying to get into your nerves or get into you. And my biggest reflection from this week is actually to just not let it faze you. Now, I know that's easier said than done, but it's about having the perspective to take what they're saying and be like, wow, they've actually spent the time to think about me and then comment on whatever they're thinking. And also, when people comment on other people, it usually comes from a place of either jealousy or insecurities of their own. It's very easy to take things to heart and get bogged down by people, get bogged down by circumstances, get bogged down by anything. But I think one of the things that's helped me the most is having a mindset and having a perspective where it just doesn't matter. Like, you know, if someone thinks badly of you, and what? You know, if someone says something about you, so what? Like, why do you care? Like, genuinely sit down with that question and be like, why does it bother me what he's just said? First of all, that's his opinion. Second of all, who is he to say anything? And third of all, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what they say. I've realized this out a long time of pursuing goals and detaching myself from normal like crowds. I've been alone with just me and my goals and discovering myself and discovering purpose and discovering what I want in order to pursue that fully. But in order to do that, you have to be alone and you have to be comfortable with being alone, and people don't understand that. And then when you do get to a point where you start to actually get successful and achieve things that they haven't, or things that they're like, whoa, what is he doing? That's different. You know, people get scared of it. People get scared and intimidated of different things and different people. And I've had a little bit of that this week, where people much older than me and people in much different situations of life than me are commenting on me, a 20-year-old, and like, I don't get bothered by these things like give me the biggest confidence boost, where I'll literally like, I'll take them and be like, bro, this guy is talking about me. Like, this guy is taking time out of his day. He could be doing so many other things and he's commenting about me. Like, first of all, that just shows how sad his life is, and second of all, I'm taking up all of his mind space. So there is just a perspective you can take it where it's like, bro, this guy is spending his time talking about you. Like, that means you're doing something right. You know, if no one's talking anything about you and you're doing the exact same things as everyone else, then you're doing something wrong. Like, honestly, you're doing something wrong. You know, if everyone's like, yeah, you should be doing that, you should be fucking about, you should be messing about, you know, don't do anything different, then you're in the wrong spot. Like, you're in the wrong place. And, you know, people are actually getting intimidated by the fact that I'm chasing something else, and I'm at a stage now where people are starting to look at me and be like, whoa, he's different and I'm not, and I don't like that, and they'll try and bring you down. And my one note is, do not let it bring you down. Stay grounded, stay within yourself, stay who you are and be true to yourself. That is the biggest thing for me. It's like, anything you do, anything you pursue, anything you chase, you know, live true to yourself completely, 100%. You're not living life for anyone else. You're not living life for your parents, for your friends, for your peers. You're not living life for anyone else but yourself. You know, chase that delusional goal, which I don't believe there are any delusional goals. I believe anyone can achieve anything, and I know anyone can achieve anything because people already have. Like, when someone says, oh yeah, it's impossible to become a billionaire, whereas like, well, no, someone has. And, you know, all of these limiting beliefs that people set themselves, people have already done it. You know, people have already done it, and that should be the biggest motivating boost to you of like, holy shit, I want something and I know 100% that I can have it. and that will have it. These people are only commenting because they see something in you that they don't see in themselves. And most of the time, these people, if they're commenting on you, they're not doing it from a place of love or a place of like trying to actually get you to improve. They're trying to bring you down to their level, and they're trying to bother you, and they're trying to get under your skin. And the only way you can win there is not to succumb or conform to what they say, is to rise above it and stay true to yourself. That will scare them more than anything else can. As a human being, I tend to like reflect on things quite a lot. And from this week, that's the perspective that I saw from this week of like, I'm doing something so right, because when people see me out and about, they see someone living so truly to himself and knowing exactly what he wants and who he wants to be and what he wants to achieve. And they don't even see that in themselves. And the only reason I say this with so much confidence is because I've been through so much to understand and learn about myself, and I've actively tried to discover and look for myself and gone through periods of loss and not knowing who I am and not knowing what I want and being so like lost and confused and lack of purpose that I am actually in a position to say now that I've done so much searching for myself, and now that I've found it and I know exactly who I am and what I want to be, that I am who I am and I know who I am and I know what I want. And that is one of those things that most people and a lot of people can't say about themselves. And when they see that in others and when they see that in you, they get intimidated. And I'm gonna tell you, stay above it. You know, if you're getting commented on, if people are like trying to bring you down, you're doing something right, bro, and carry on doing that. Anyway, thank you for watching. That was Building in Public episode 22. I shall see you next Monday.